Hi, and welcome back. A few episodes ago, I talked to you about seasoning firewood and the types and, and getting it split and stacked. Well, winter's upon us, and so it's about time to burn that firewood. So I'm sure that if there's a few of you that are watching today that are either first-time wood stove buyers, or you're just in the market to replace an existing stove you've got in your house. I'm not going to recommend any stoves specifically. I'm going to tell you about one we've got now and some that we used to have in the past. Years ago, when I was much younger, I owned a house that had an old Franklin wood-burning stove. Double doors, big thing. Didn't know a whole lot about it, but I love the smell. You know, I just love the ambiance, and I love the money that it saved me during the heating season. Several years after that, we moved into another house and I installed a wood stove. This time, rather than going the conventional way, I found one at a flea market for free and put it in. It was an old box stove. Leaky, creaky, stunk, drafty, door didn't close, was unsafe, was inefficient, woke up several times in the middle of the night to a haze in the house because smoke was backing up. At the urging of my wife, to put it mildly, we got rid of that stove. Now, this is a United States Model 2000. And if you go to our website, American Outdoors, you'll see a blog that we wrote about this several years ago. And I thought, well, you know, it's time to update it. It's been, this will be our 6th season using this stove. I thought I'd update it a little bit, tell you some more things that we found out about it, give you some positives and some negatives, just update the original article. And since this is a good time of the year to do so, here we are. But a US Model 2000, it's considered a mid-size stove, and I believe the 2000 indicates the amount of square footage that it's rated to heat. It's EPA certified. It's also 75% efficient. In comparison, your typical wood-burning fireplace is somewhere around 10, 12, 15% efficient versus your standard furnace, which may be 85% efficient, upwards to 95% efficient. So that kind of puts it in some sort of perspective. It puts out about 90,000 BTUs. It's got a 2.1 cubic foot firebox. This does come with a 100 CFM blower attached to the back. I believe the measurements are, it's 27 inches tall, and I think it goes 23.5 inches back, and then it's 24.5 inches wide. It's pretty typical for a wood-burning stove these days. It does weigh 275 pounds, so you're not going to find a spot that you like it, because it's not going to go anywhere else, that's for sure. But fire brick was included with this. It's got a dampener right here below the firebox to control it. It has an ash box below that to collect ashes. Has a 6-inch collar for your flue pipe. It's a pretty well-made stove. Now, as you can tell, we used to have a pot, which is behind me now, that we would boil water on the stove during the winter just to help keep the air a little humid. And as you can see, we've got some rust and some scale up here, so we don't use that anymore. But what you are seeing is a review based on heavy use. This is our sole means of heating the house. Now, the house that this is in is a ranch style with, I'm in a walk-out lower level here. Upstairs is about 1,500 square feet. Down here is almost 1,500 square feet. So actually, the area is more than this stove is rated for. But I am here to tell you today that this stove will keep this house comfortably warm in the middle of winter. Now, drawback for some people might be the difference in temperature up to down. If it's 80 degrees down here, there's about an 8-degree difference upstairs. So you're looking at about 70, 72. That's perfectly fine for us. This thing will run you out of the house screaming, literally. It has no problem cranking out the heat. Now, that's not to say that it'll heat every corner, every pantry, and every closet the same temperature upstairs either. But for all but the most severe of winter nights where there might have been just a blowing wind and below zero temps, we may have had to use a backup space heater. This has done the job. So let me share some of the positives with you and a few negatives that we've experienced over the years. This glass right here is great. I really love this. It's air washed. I don't have to stick my head inside the stove anymore to see what's going on, having embers popping out all over the place and catching the wall on fire. This cleans up very easily. Just some SOS pad, no water, nothing else, just a circular motion in there, and it will take the ash off very quickly. This dampener is nice right out in front too. You're not operating the old conventional lever up here, flipping the flue and getting yourself burnt. It stays right in front up here. You can open it and close it. So at night when you're going to bed, just simply close it down a little bit and you're good to go. The firebox takes a 21-inch log. So if you're cutting your own wood, you'll be aware, of what you can fit in there. Which goes to another topic, and this goes back to cost. At $6.99, that's in between. I mean, there are stoves you can spend a whole lot more money on, but if you put this into perspective of how much you'll spend 1 month this January, for example, on your heating bill, added up over the entire winter. And the return on the investment on this is very quick. Now, if you are having to buy your cordwood from an outside source, even after you factor in the cost of buying the wood and bringing it back, you're still going to be ahead of the game in most cases versus paying for heating oil, propane, natural gas, or electric during the middle of a hard winter. If you have property that you already have wood on that you can cut and season and stack, you are way ahead of the game. So when you consider that we've had this stove for 6 years and our typical use is 4 to 4.5 months, 5 months season, you just take those bills and it's money back into your pocket. So that's been a real plus for us too. It drafts really well. I can come down here at 5:30 in the morning before everybody's awake, get the fire going within 5 to 10 minutes. It's running typically almost full temperature within 20, and this will run at 500 degrees very easily all day long. And so by the time that everybody's up getting ready for school or work or whatever, the house is comfortable. And the burn time is easily controlled by this dampener down here too. We can get 8 hours out of a load of wood. So 9 o'clock, we're winding down. We can close the flue down to extend the burn time, go to bed, and wake up the next morning, and there should still be a nice bed of coal in order to reignite a new stack of wood. Also, I wanted to mention too that the blower fan that comes with this, that's really nice, and we use that almost exclusively, but it's not required. So if you're living off the grid, if you're a prepper, doomsday guy, whatever, you don't have to have that. Now, the specifications for this stove, I believe, are that it be away from the wall on each side by 22 inches, and I think it's 20 inches front and back. That's what United States Stove, the owner's manual says. However, your insurance company may be completely different and say something else. We have, as you can tell, we've got tile along the wall back here. Never had any problems. Now, regarding any negatives, I'll kind of magnify what we had in the original article online, is that that's a really bad location for the blower motor. It is in back. I understand if they have to put it back there, there should have been some sort of a remote access or an extension somehow where you can get to the knob, because as you can tell, reaching around there makes it very easy to get yourself burnt or in some sort of predicament. And off to the side of the stove, you'll see there's a pot holder, a little glove. Normally what I do is I have to put that on, take my right hand with the glove on, lean it against the top so I can kind of wiggle around the side and adjust the speed if the stove's been going. And that's not really a great idea. It's not a great design. Also, emptying the ashes out of this, what the manufacturer has done is to put an ash lid inside. It's flush with the bottom of the floor in the firebox, and it will drop down into this ash drawer below. The problem is I guess it's great in theory. It's a good idea in theory. The problem is when you pull this out, this is like an old drawer, you know, that has no roller tracks on it at all. It just kind of comes out cockeyed, and a lot of it spills out of the side, and it's just a mess. And so I've used this maybe twice, and as you can see, you know, I mean, it's just a pain in the neck. It's puffing smoke out now as I close it. I've used it twice. And after that, I just went to an ash vacuum, or we use a traditional ash pan with a shovel, and we just scoop it out. And that's just cleaner. I think that is just, for me now, it's a decoration. Other than that, really, this has been a fantastic stove. And like I said, I'm not recommending any particular stove. I'm just telling you this is one that we've had great success with. So do your homework. Whether you're looking to save some money, get the best value, or you just want the best stove on the market. I hope this helped, and we look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.